Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Mentoring Minds with Ajay Sharma. I hope up till now you have understood the basics of depreciation. हमें पता है कि depreciation basically it is charged on fixed assets. Also depreciation is charged at the end of the year. In today's session, we are going to understand about how the sale of part of asset is going to affect the depreciation. So let us understand today's important concept on sale of पार्ट ऑफ असेट. आज का सेशन काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है एज वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग न्यू. तो बिफोर प्रोसीडिंग अहेड, let us take some questions so as to understand whether the depreciation concept is clear in our mind or not. Let's say a question comes in front of you कि depreciation helps in increasing the efficiency of asset or it is going to help in replacement of asset. What should be the answer? Yes, absolutely right. The answer should be replacement of asset, as depreciation helps in replacement of asset. Depreciation is a non-cash expenses and these non-cash expenses are kept aside in the form of provision. These provision helps in after certain years to utilize that money for replacing the asset. So that's why the correct answer is replacement of asset. The next is total amount of depreciation of an asset cannot exceeds its scrap value or depreciable value. ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कि जो भी अमाउंट डेप्रिसिएशन का होता है, दिस डेप्रिसिएशन अमाउंट कैन नॉट बी मोर देन स्क्रैप वैल्यू. स्क्रैप यानी रेसिडुअल वैल्यू, यानी वो वैल्यू जो हम असेट को भंगार में बेच करके रिकवर करते हैं, या फिर वो वैल्यू जो मैक्सिमम डेप्रिशिएट हो सकती है. सो व्हाट शुड बी द करेक्ट आंसर? Yes, you are absolutely right. The answer is depreciable value. So asset जितनी maximum value की होगी, the depreciation amount can also be maximum with that amount. So that maximum amount is called as the depreciable value. So now we have understood the basics of debit and credit. We are aware accounts are broadly classified into three categories, that is personal, real and nominal. We are also aware with the rules of debit and credit. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. This is the rules of debit and credit as per traditional approach. Similarly, we are having rules of debit and credit as per modern approach. Modern approach basically classifies the account into four categories, that is asset, liability, expense and income. So what the rule says regarding debit and credit? It clearly says debit all assets, credit all liabilities. Whenever there is increase in the value of asset, we are going to debit. If there is decrease in the value of asset, we are going to credit. Similarly, when there is increase in liability, we are going to credit, while there is a decrease in liability, we are going to debit it out. तो सिंपल सी बात है, asset, liability, expense and income will either be debited or credited depending on increase or decrease. Now let's understand how to solve a basic sum. Now this type of sum will come in our exam. हमारे एग्जाम में इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे. याद रहे, हमें क्वेश्चन ध्यान से पढ़ना है. And once you read and understand the question correctly, I'm sure you'll be able to solve the sum nicely. Sangam Trading Company Buldhana purchased vehicles on 1st April 2020 costing rupees 1,15,000 and spent rupees 5,000 on its registration. On 30th September 2021, additional vehicle is purchased for rupees 70,000. On 31st March 2023, a part of vehicle was sold for rupees 13,000. The original cost of which was 20,000 on 1st April 2020. Prepare vehicle account for the years 2021, 21-22 and 22-23, assuming that vehicle is depreciated at 10% per annum on straight line method on 31st March each year. So now the question is there in front of us. The very first basic step that we should do is to prepare timeline. Timeline हमें ये identify करने में मदद करता है कि वेदर वी आर परचेजिंग एसेट, सेलिंग द एसेट इन विच पर्टिकुलर ईयर। यहां पर इन्होंने हमें 2020, 21, 21, 22 एंड 22, 23 3 साल के लिए व्हीकल अकाउंट बनाने के लिए कहा है। सो लेट्स सी हाउ आर वी गोइंग टू प्रिपेयर इट आउट। नाउ हियर संगम ट्रेडिंग कंपनी बुल्धाना परचेज्ड व्हीकल्स ऑन 1st April 2020 costing rupees 1,15,000 and spent rupees 5,000 on its registration. So we are aware whenever such expenses for acquiring the asset is given it to us, we are going to add up in the cost of asset. तो सबसे पहले हम identify करेंगे as per cost concept what is the cost of asset. So here purchase of vehicle, we are purchasing the vehicle on 1st April 2020. Obviously 1,15,000 plus 5,000 will be 1,20,000. So this asset we are purchasing it on 1st April for 1,20,000. On 30th September 2021, we are again purchasing another asset for 70,000. This is the second asset that we are purchasing. On 31st March 2023, we are selling a part of the asset which original cost was 20,000 and this cost was on 1st April 2020. यानी 1st April 2020 को जो भी asset हमने खरीदा उस asset के दो parts थे। सर मतलब हमने जो asset खरीदी 1,20,000 की, that was having two parts. One was of 1 lakh, the other one was of 20,000. And this 20,000 का asset we are selling it for 13,000. तो सर इसे लिखेंगे कैसे? What we can do in this case, 1,20,000 we will divide it into two parts, 20,000 and the remaining one is 1 lakh. So this 1,20,000 के दो parts हो गए, 20 and 1 lakh. So this asset becomes your third asset. So here, in fact, there are two assets only, two major assets, but still here we are selling a part of it. That's why we have divided into two parts of that asset. हमें पता है कि कंप्यूटर और प्रिंटर दोनों ही इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चीजें हैं, लेकिन जरूरी नहीं है कि दोनों हम एक साथ खरीदें और एक साथ यूज करें। कभी कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि when you are purchasing computer and printer together, right, there are basically two parts now. One is computer, the other one is printer. And after some years, we are replacing this printer with the new one. So the same thing has happened over here. This is replacement of asset, right? The reason is that this particular asset is not attached with the main asset. यानी कंप्यूटर का एग्जिस्टेंस अलग है, उसी तरह से प्रिंटर का एग्जिस्टेंस अलग है। तो सर ये व्हीकल में क्या हो सकता है? व्हीकल में हम व्हीकल परचेज करते हैं एंड सीएनजी सिलेंडर वी आर इंस्टॉलिंग इट सेपरेटली. So this CNG cylinder also becomes an asset. But here this CNG cylinder can be replaced after certain time so that we can use the asset for continuous years. तो here कुछ ऐसा ही हुआ जहां पर replace किया गया part of the asset. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं here. So what we find that there are in short three assets with us. They are asking us for preparing vehicle account for 3 years. So हम क्या करेंगे? 1st April 2020 से start करके we will end up on 31st March 2021. The second year will start on 1st April 21 to 31st March. Third year will start on 1st April and end on 31st March 2023. Let us place the entire sum on the timeline. So here we are purchasing the asset on 1st April 2020 and here there are two parts. So first part is of 20,000, the other one is of 1 lakh. Then on 30th September 2021, 30th September 1st April के बाद आता है and this second asset we are purchasing it for 70,000. Great. On 31st March 2023, that is last date of the year, we are selling this 20,000 का asset for 13,000. So that's why it is sale of first asset. Are we purchasing the another asset on the same date? No. So basically we are having three in short asset, P1, P2, P3. In the first year we are utilizing both the asset for 12 months as 1st April से 31st March होते हैं 12 महीने. In the second year we are utilizing the first asset for 12 months The second asset also we are utilizing it for 12 months, and third asset which we purchased it on 30th September. नाउ सितंबर से लेकर के मार्च तक अगर हम काउंट करें तो सितंबर ऑन 30th September वी आर परचेजिंग, so obviously September month we will not consider. So October, November, December, January, February and March, how many months? 6 months. So we will charge depreciation for 6 months. See, in the third year, first machine, this is the machine we sold it, but we utilize this machine for the entire 12 months. The second asset of 1 lakh we are utilizing it for 12 months, and third asset, that is 70,000 ka also we are utilizing it for 12 months. So now the second step is about how to do calculations. इसके लिए हमें थोड़े mathematical skills आने चाहिए. Mathematical skills are nothing but addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So let's see now how are we going to do this calculations. Now they have said calculate the depreciation at the rate 10% under straight line method. तो सबसे पहले हम लिख लेते हैं what is the date of purchase and what is the cost. So here on 1st April we are purchasing 20,000 का asset. Also on 1st April 2020 we are purchasing 1 lakh का asset. On 30th September we are purchasing 70,000 का asset. Now we have to be careful कि कौन सा asset हमने कब use किया है. So in the first year that is 2020 से लेकर के 21 we are going to charge depreciation. In the first year we are having two assets. These are not two basic assets, but it's like that के two parts of the asset. Now 20,000 का 10% is 2,000 and 10% of 1 lakh for 12 months will be 10,000. So total depreciation is 12,000. Let us first of all write the written down value. The written down value, that is 20,000 minus 2,000 is 18 and 1 lakh minus 10 is 90,000. Let's find out the total depreciation, which is 12, and total written down value is 1 lakh 8,000. Kitna easy. Now the second year. In the second year there are three assets at the end of the year. First asset we utilized it for 12 months, so इस पर 12 महीने का depreciation. But याद रहे 12 महीने का depreciation, the method is SLM. So we will charge depreciation on 20,000. So 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. 10% of 1 lakh is 10,000. And याद रहे 10% of 70,000 is 7,000. But we are using this asset only for 6 months. तो 12 महीने का 7,000, तो 6 महीने का 3,500. So 3,500 is the depreciation amount. First of all, let us find out the written down value. So here it is 16,000, here 80,000 and here 3,000 minus करेंगे तो 66,500. The total amount of depreciation will be 15,500 and the total amount of written down value is 16,350. Like this way we can easily find out the total depreciation and the total written down value. In the third year we are selling the first asset. Remember, whenever we are selling the asset we basically require three values: depreciation amount, sale proceed and the third one is profit or loss. तो देखते हैं, सबसे पहले फर्स्ट असेट हम बेच रहे हैं ऑन 31st मार्च. So we will charge depreciation for 12 months. 12 months का, that is 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. After subtracting 2,000 from 16, we will get 14,000 as the book value. 14,000 का asset, 14,000 का asset हमने कितने में बेचा? सर हमने इसे बेचा 13,000 में. 14,000 का asset we are selling at 13, that means 1,000 there is loss. So after considering this profit or loss on sale of asset, then we should calculate the depreciation for the remaining asset. तो हमारे पास कितनी asset बच गई अब? सर हमारे पास second asset बच गई और third asset बच गई. So on 31st March we will charge depreciation 10% on original cost. So 10% of 1 lakh is 10,000. Same way 10% of 70,000 is 7,000. The written down value is 80 minus 10, which is 70, and here 66 minus 7 is 59,500. So total amount of depreciation is 17 and written down value is 1,29,500. So this is how the second step is. First step, you are going to calculate timeline or you are going to present the entire sum on timeline, and the second step is calculation of depreciation. इसमें अगर हमारी गलती हुई तो इट विल हैव अ मल्टीप्लायर इफेक्ट, यानी एक गलती दूसरी गलती को जन्म देगी और अल्टीमेटली हमारे मार्क्स कम हो जाएंगे। तो आपको यहाँ कैलकुलेशन में ध्यान रखना है। The third step is now we are there to find out what is the depreciation amount, and accordingly we are going to do the journal entry and ledger posting. So here in the first year they are saying the amount of depreciation, the total depreciation is 12,000 while the written down value is 1,08,000. Great. So now let us present the sum. Here they are asking us to prepare the asset account. So here we are going to prepare an asset account and here the depreciation account. Fine. So if they ask us to prepare depreciation account or let's say any other account, so we are going to prepare asset as well as depreciation account. ये हमारे ऊपर है कि हमें asset account कहा गया and depreciation account गया। अगर सिर्फ asset account कहा गया तो we are there to prepare only asset account. Fine. So here we are purchasing asset in the first year. So first year when you are purchasing the asset, we are aware asset comes in and cash goes out. जब हम asset खरीदते हैं तो मशीन आती है, asset आती है और कैश जाता है। Vehicle is a machinery, इसीलिए हम इसे मशीनरी में लिख देंगे। So here machinery debit to cash. On machinery account on debit side we can write to cash account the total 1,20,000. And here we are not preparing cash account, so we assume that we have transferred the entry in cash account. Then throughout the year we are going to utilize the asset, and at the end of the year we are going to charge depreciation. So depreciation is charged on asset, and we are aware depreciation is a loss. So that's why depreciation to machinery account. Here depreciation is debited. So on debit side we will write to machinery, and in machinery we will write by depreciation. कितना सिंपल, डेबिट साइड डेबिट इफेक्ट, क्रेडिट साइड क्रेडिट इफेक्ट, so simple. So this depreciation amount we have already taken it from the first year. Now the third is we are going to transfer this depreciation. सर हम कहां ट्रांसफर करेंगे? We'll charge this depreciation to profit and loss. So we are aware we have to give the opposite effect. देखो depreciation यहाँ डेबिट हो रहा है तो depreciation हम क्रेडिट कर देंगे. We will transfer it on debit side. So whenever transfers are done of a debit entry, it will be done on debit side. So here profit and loss account debit to depreciation. Are we preparing profit and loss account? No sir. So we'll assume that we have done the posting in profit and loss. Here depreciation is credited. On credit side we'll write by profit and loss. So after transferring it to profit and loss account, now let's do the closing ceremony. So at the end of the year we are going to close the books of account. So debit side 1,20,000 and credit side 12,000. Which is bigger one? Sir 1,20,000. So here 1,20,000, 1,20,000 and minus 12,000 is 1,08,000. So this is the closing balance which will transfer it to the next year. Similarly, depreciation account we are going to tally it out. This was the first year. The same way second year we are going to do the posting. Let's see in the second year have we purchased the asset? क्या हमने asset purchase किया? हाँ सर हमने asset purchase किया है, and at the end of the year we are there to charge depreciation. Fine. So let's see what is the amount of depreciation in the second year. The amount is 15,500 and the written down value is 163,500. So here the same entries we are going to do the posting. First one we are going to purchase the asset. So we are aware machinery to cash. So in machinery account debit side पर हम लिखेंगे to cash, and cash account since we are not preparing we assume that we have done the posting. Now at the end of the year we are going to charge depreciation. So we are aware depreciation is charged on asset. So depreciation account debit to machinery. In depreciation account on debit side we will write to machinery, and in machinery on credit side we'll write by depreciation. The third entry is like transferring these depreciation to profit and loss. So we are transferring this depreciation to profit and loss account. So profit and loss to depreciation. Again we are not preparing profit and loss account. We assume that we have done the posting, and in depreciation credit side will write by profit and loss account. And now the same procedure we have to do it. We are going to close the books of account. So debit side 1,78,000. Obviously debit side is heavy. Here also 1,78,000 minus 15,500. So automatically we'll get 1,63,500. This is the closing balance which we transfer it to the next year. And here we are going to close the depreciation account. Itna easy. The third year, just check out, have we sold any asset? Yes, sir. Have we purchased any asset? No. So here we are just selling the asset. So whenever assets are sold, we are going to pass only three journal entries. Sir, which are they? One is for the depreciation. So let us find out what is the total depreciation. Sir, 20,000. What is the sale proceed? Sir, 13,000. And what is profit or loss? So here there is a loss of 1,000. Three basic entries will pass for sale of asset. So let's see here. We are selling the asset. So first of all, we are going to charge depreciation. The entry is depreciation to machinery. So this depreciation account is debited. So on debit side, we'll write to machinery, and here credit side by depreciation. Now the second is we are selling the asset. So when we sell the asset goes out and cash comes in. So here we are getting the cash and we are selling the machinery. Are we preparing cash account? No. So we assume that we have done the posting in cash account, and in machinery on credit side, that is right side, we are going to write by cash 13,000. And the third thing is profit or loss. In this case, there is a loss. So loss on sale should be debited. So loss on sale of machinery account is debited, and loss is basically taking place for sale of asset. So loss to asset account. So are we preparing loss on sale of asset account? No. We assume that we have done the posting, and in machinery on credit side we'll write by loss on sale of asset. Right? So we have done the posting of sale of asset. Now the left out is the remaining asset depreciation entry. So again the same depreciation entry for the remaining asset we are going to calculate. Now the two assets are left out. The total amount of depreciation on these two assets is 17,000, and the remaining balance of asset is 129,500. Depreciation is charged on asset. So entry is depreciation to machinery. So depreciation on debit side will write to machinery, and in machinery credit side will write by depreciation. And then last entry we are going to transfer this depreciation to profit and loss account. So profit and loss to depreciation. Again we are not preparing profit and loss account. So in depreciation account on credit side, on the last date of the year, we'll do the posting for transfer of depreciation. Now we are going to close the books of account. So 163,500, 163,500, and if I subtract the remaining these all values, we get 129,500. You can take the value from here and place it. You will get the same answer. So this is how we will transfer it to the next year, and here the account we are going to close it. So it's so easy, dear student. We find that depreciation account as well as machinery account is so simple. Just follow the basic process of journal entry and do the ledger posting. तो हमने समझा डेप्रिसिएशन की एंट्रीज लिखने के लिए हमें 4 स्टेप्स करने हैं. सर कौन से? पहला टाइमलाइन बनाना है, सेकंड वन कैलकुलेशंस, दैट इज बेसिक कैलकुलेशंस हमको कर लेना है, थर्ड वन इज अबाउट लेजर अकाउंट्स, दैट इज जर्नल एंट्रीज यू आर गोइंग टू पोस्ट, journal entries you are going to pass, and fourth one you are going to do the posting in ledger accounts. I hope you have understood in today's session how to do the postings in asset and depreciation account. Ensure it you have subscribed our channel. If not yet subscribed, just press the subscription, that is subscribe button, and also hit the bell icon. So keep learning, keep growing, and see to it that you are upgrading yourself a lot. So by the time, take care.